and doing what it's supposed to do. Um, I want to be able to share this about two kingdoms. I'm not probably gonna put it live or share. I'm just sharing it with a few 10 to 15 people. Um, it's not long. Hopefully, it don't get long. But if it do get long, you can always play it and come back. Um, so a lot of different things going on with the Black Lives Matter and police reform and all of this different things. But I think the main thing that's going on is it's a battle between two kingdoms. So when I make different posts, it could seem conspiracy theory, crackpotty, but I'm going off of basic information and research that I studied in the past. Two kingdoms at war, the battle for supremacy and control. Okay, how did I get to the conclusion about the two kingdoms? I got the conclusion of the two kingdoms at war based off of study. I was just studying and reading, and these pictures of uh, Donald Trump and George Soros. Uh, the picture on the right represents the two ideologies of kingdoms that have been at war for years. Um, I'm not demonizing any one or any group. I'm just going off the research that I got. Okay. Um, to see the players in the game. Okay, let's check it out. We have two kingdoms. The two main kingdoms at war are the Anglo-Saxons and the Khazars, or the global Zionist Jews. The language we use today is left and right when describing the two social parties. So this is just a little clip art picture of Donald and Bernie. Donald represents the right, the Anglo-Saxons. Bernie represents the Khazar, the socialists, the left. All right. Uh, Again, I'm not really tripping off nobody's political stance or anything. You can believe what you want, vote how you want, do what you want. I'm just going off the research that I got. All right, so just check it out real quick. What is left? Peter Berkowitz writes that the U.S. The term liberal commonly denotes the left wing, a Democratic Party, has become synonymous with progressive or progress or moving in a direction of change. All right, they believe rich should be taxed more, same-sex marriage more. That's progress towards equality. They have tolerance for that equality, justice, and being progressive. I got a whole other study on progress later. Embrace science and technology, a new world order, a change, socialism, gun control, pro-choice over pro-life, and government control. These are some of the things that you will hear when you think about left. Again, I'm not being biased to either side because I have no pony in this race, but just check it out. Associated media for the left, New York Times, MSNBC, Washington Post, or CNN. So if you eat this on a daily, you'll start getting left ideologies in your mind. If you eat, okay, well, so famous people from left ideology: Karl Marx, Frederick Engels, Einstein, Barack Hussein Obama, Jeff Bezos, uh, Barney Frank, Nancy Pelosi. You see her right here in her kente cloth. I think that's interesting. Warren Buffett and Bill Gates. All right. More on the left. The reason I said, well, Bill Gates support both left and the right, but he gave more dollars to the left because he's trying to, get vaccines going. He's trying to get his AI technology going. He got a lot of different things going on, and they're more at liberty. They're more liberal to get it done. Uh, I'm just using the language that we use today. Left believes, in a nutshell, I just found these pictures out, socialism and communism are the words they use. Minority rights, economic equality, gun control, environmental protection, expanding educational opportunities, socialness for those who need them. So a lot of that stuff don't sound bad, minority rights, you know what I mean? Nobody want to get, beat down. It's systemic racism and different things like that. Social democracy, they use words interchangeably: federalism, socialism, communism, collectivism, and Marxism. So those are some of the words that's used when describing the right. Today's language is left and right, but it's much deeper than that. Okay, what is the right? Majority times it's conservative, dominated by a white Anglo-Saxon male. Although the term right wing originated, conservatives, monarchists, and reactionaries. The term extreme right wing have been applied to movements including fascism, Nazism, and racial supremacy. So these are your Anglo-Saxon people. Some believe in the Confederate flag. You can see right there, and neo-Nazi. Not everybody, and not every Trump supporter is a Confederate and all that, which is real interesting that they have the Confederate flag. Confederate represents the South, and that Confederacy supposedly quote unquote lost, but they still fly it, and they fly it north, south, east, west. They fly the Confederate flag. It means something. The Confederacy. Um, I don't. I think it's all right. Go ahead and fly your flag, so we can see what's going on with it. One is more covert and one is more overt, in my opinion. Um, the right is more overt, in your face. You don't like it, it's too bad. The left is more covert, um, you know, things like that. Hidden, subtle, we're for you, you know. Associated media with the right, National Review, Fox News, Wall Street Journal, Washington Times, Fox News, and then this paper right here is from a neo-Nazi paper, Make America Great Again. The whole neo-Nazi and a lot of the alt-rights and stuff, they back Donald Trump. A lot of conservative Christians back Trump, and it's okay. Um, that's what they believe. That, they had to make it great again. We got to get a hold of this country. This country's getting out of hand. We just had Barack Hussein Obama, secret Muslim, in there for 8 years, tearing our country up. Um, and now we got the Khazars trying to take over, but I don't want to get ahead of myself as far as that. Famous people with right ideology: Ronald Reagan, Margaret Thatcher, George Washington. I don't know how they got George Washington in there. They love talking about him. Winston Churchill, George W. Bush, Mitch McConnell, Rupert Murdoch. He's in charge of Fox News. Rush Limbaugh, Tony Abbott, Mitt Romney, and Donald Trump. Okay? The right ideology. Right continued. No amnesty for undocumented immigrants. Stronger border patrol. Right, keep people out that's not supposed to be in here. Check on illegal immigrants. Believe that illegal immigrants is lowering wages for citizens and documented immigrants. But the legal immigrants, they come over here and they get the minimum wage or below minimum wage jobs out in the field all day picking grapes, in factories all day. The jobs that's not desirable but it's neither here nor there. Generally oppose gay marriage, opposed to certain anti-discrimination laws because they believe such laws conflict with certain religious beliefs and restriction of freedom of religion. Strongly oppose gun laws, right? Strong proponents of the Second Amendment right to bear arms, believing that it is a deterrent against authoritarian rule. Like they teach in the schools about patriots, you know what I mean? They came and they fought up against the redcoats, and they was just regular common men like you and me, and they just fought the redcoats, the greatest army in the world. And I'm not saying they couldn't have won. The redcoats were on foreign soil. They was the greatest army in the world. They had the greatest military tactics, but they did have bright red coats on, and they didn't fight, behind rocks and stuff like that. So that could have been to the win or the loss of it. It just seemed kind of fishy that some everyday ragtag, regular farmer men, butchers, bakers, candlestick makers, grab some guns and take out the greatest army in the world. But it could have happened. Who am I to say? But they believe in the right to bear arms. I think a lot of those guys are scared, and they love tanks, and that's how they control the world and run the world. In my opinion. Again, this is not a racist thing. This is from the research that I got. So hang in there with me. Left groups, Antifa and Black Lives Matter. You know what I mean? I seen a document about Antifa. Some of them were Jewish, some of them were homosexual, some of them were outcasts, some of them were anarchists. They just don't like the government for whatever reason. They got different things that they want. And so Black Lives Matter is funded by the left, the left group. So there's Black Lives Matter, and then there's Black Lives Matter. And what I mean by that is some like the things that happen with George Floyd. That's pretty jacked up, right? Really jacked up. And so people out there saying, man, our lives matter, Black Lives Matter. Okay, that's a statement, right? But then now it's a group, a left group behind that saying Black Lives Matter. So you can be out there saying Black Lives Matter, but don't represent or be a part of the Black Lives Matter movement. You see what I'm saying? But other people on the other side who think you're a threat, the left, the right side, they think it's all together. The rioting, the looting, the shooting, the instituting, the polluting, all of the ootings, right? And so they look at that and say, well, man, this group is crazy. But we have different things going on with that. BLM is funded by the left-wing side, George Soros. George Soros is a Khazar. He's an Ashkenazi Jew. He's a Khazar. Again, that's why I'm not putting this on for everybody to see, because cats would be thinking I'm being racist and this side, that side, other side. I'm Yahweh side. I'm theocrat. I'm not Democrat or Republican. I'm theocrat. For the quarter Shem of Yadahim, but it's all good. So Black Lives Matter is the left wing side, and they send their people out to spray paint BLM on buildings, set cars on fire, break windows out, and we're already out there frustrated, aggravated. So the camera goes on us, then it pans to the wall and show BLM on the wall. So they're not the right side, and the police and the neo-Nazis and the alt-right guys, they're like, man, they out here tripping. They tearing our country up. And I'm not making us Boy Scouts. Some of us, we do got pockets of crazy, you know what I mean? But it's just a reaction to, it's the hate that hate made. But we got pockets of crazy going on with that, all right? Antifa with different agendas riding the BLM wave. Okay, here's a group of Antifa guys throwing chairs and, like I said, protesting and breaking stuff and taking stuff. And then this guy on the right, they had a video of him in Minnesota, but come out there with a hammer and a umbrella, all black, and breaking out the first windows that was being broke. It was a nonviolent protest. He goes out there and break out windows, and a lot of people believe that it's this police officer right here. Why would he do that? I don't know. Is he a part of BLM? Is he a part of Antifa? Is he a part of the right side to try to stir it up? I don't know where he's from, what side he's on. But like I said, you have an organic movement of people out there looking for Black lives, and then you got these type of groups out there with different agendas and stirring up racial controversy, and it's real crazy, right? And so, yeah. So let's go on. Right-wing groups stirring up hate to start a civil war. You were born just in time. They got this picture of these extreme black groups saying kill Whitey to fight the racial war, and then people are getting AR-15s and AKs, and it's a blood war, people. And I'm not being racist. I'm not being hateful. You can look at the news. You can look at history books, reenactment of war, pillage, plunder, rape, murder, hanging, slavery, the whole nine, right? Colonization, all of that because of the sword, because of the tank, because of the AR-15 and different weapons or whatever, right? So they want to start a civil war. We just want to foot it off our neck, and we want to get started. We want the same thing a lot of people want, but they want to start a civil war, right? Propaganda and blame game, half truths and half lies on both sides. This is a meme that said, this wasn't done by ISIS. This was done by domestic right-wing militia. So this meme probably was posted by somebody from the left, right? Many different subgroups on both sides with different agendas. You got, like I said, Antifa, anti-fascists. You got fascists. You got Black Lives Matter. That that it got a homosexual agenda behind it. A lot of homosexuals are trying to get in and get their stuff pushed in. You got Second Amendment rights people. It's just out of order. It's just out of crazy. Here's some more propaganda against the right. I don't always stage terrorist attack, but when I do, I blame it on Muslims. So you got George W. Bush, a right-wing guy, and he's They got the left put this out, but little do they know that the left did behind a lot of 9/11 and the terrorists. I can't share that in this video, but I will. Left ideology. Alt-right is neo-Nazi. They out there with signs. And look at these right here. Left make puppets of making fun of Trump and different things like that. And it's just crazy, man. And it's just back and forth, right? They want you to choose a side. They want to implant ideologies in your mind. Here's a more left propaganda. They got Trump doing instead of Mein Kampf, which is a book written by Hitler, they got Sein Kampf, Stern. That's a Jewish name, so more than likely this is a Jewish book, right? See, they hate Ku Klux Klan, and they hate Hitler and the right. The Economist magazine, probably a left magazine, they got him with a Ku Klux Klan, a bullhorn or whatever that is, and then the New Yorker, right? They painting these pictures of him. Again, I'm not coming to his aid or his side, but he's the right man, because remember, he's not Democrat or Republican, and he's not Christian, in my opinion. But he's backed by the Republican, he's backed by the left, he's backed by the KKK, he's backed by you've seen it for yourself with the paper. I'm not trashing this man. He's backed by the alt-right, he's backed by the white conservative Anglo-Saxon man, whether it be Protestant or whether it be just conservative Anglo-Saxon man. How did I come up with this? While I was studying, I came across a book by Henry Ford entitled The International Jew. It was talking about the problems encountered while doing business with certain Jewish businessmen. His claim was that they were coming to take over the morals and values and customs of the U.S. Now, Henry Ford, he's known for the Model T and doing building cars and stuff. So when he came up with this book, I got a copy of the book. I was like, man, this dude is tripping. Why are he tripping on the Jews like that? Why is he tripping on, you know what I mean? It is, quote unquote, I guess, anti-Semitic rhetoric, and it is used to split. But this was written way back in 1920s. I'm going to stop right here, and I'm going to do another video starting. I'm going to read some of the things that he said, and then a light bulb that just clicked off in my mind. Perfect.